I'd like to call to order today's meeting of the Metropolitan Area Planning Commission. If we could have our recorded greetings, please.
Before we begin the agenda, the Wichita-Sedgwick County Metropolitan Area Planning Commission and the Wichita-Sedgwick County Board of Zoning Appeals would like to take this opportunity to welcome everyone to this public hearing. For those at Century 2, copies of the agenda for today's meeting, the public hearing procedure and Planning Department staff reports on all agenda items are available in the lobby. The Planning Commission's and the BZA's bylaws limit the applicant on a zoning, subdivision, or variance application and his or her representative to a total of 10 minutes of speaking time at the start of the hearing on that item, plus up to 2 minutes at the conclusion of that hearing. All other persons wishing to speak on agenda items are limited to 3 minutes per person. However, if they feel that it is needed and justified, the chairman may extend these times by up to 2 minutes. All speakers are requested to state his or her name and address for the record when beginning to speak. When you are finished speaking, please share your name, address, and the case number on the sheet provided in the room or the GoToMeeting comments box. This will enable staff to notify you if there are any additional proceedings concerning that item. Please note that all written and visual materials you present to the Commission and the Board will be retained by the Secretary as part of the official record. If you are not speaking but you wish to be notified about future proceedings on a particular case, please provide your contact information to the Planning Department. The Planning Commission and the Board are interested in hearing the views of all persons who wish to express themselves on the agenda items. However, we ask that all speakers please be as courteous and concise as possible and avoid long repetitions of facts or opinions which have already been stated. For your information, the Wichita City Council has adopted a policy for all city zoning items. A copy of this policy is available from the planning staff. The City Council relies on a written record of the Planning Commission hearings and does not conduct its own additional public hearings on these items. The decision of the BZA is final. Any appeal of a decision of the BZA is to district court.
Okay, first item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from our meeting on September 24th. I show Nix to be the only one that was absent.
Move for approval. Second.
Been moved by Mr. Joe Johnson, second by Mr. McKay. To move in second, I have a question for Mr. Foster.
Mr. Chairman, just a few typos on page 8. Third paragraph down, the spelling of the word straw. Then in the middle of the page, in Straw's comment, it refers to, the last sentence needs a little look at. It is just one lot.
I think we're up there, so. And we're in the top left corner, Mom.
Okay, here, do you want to sit in
You want
that
the
chair?
better chair?
Well, they're both good.
And then down lower, Straw again, the access along Custody. And then over on page 9, the bottom line, by not having more than one access point. And that should do it.
Okay. So it's been moved and seconded with the corrections that Commissioner Foster noted. Any other comments? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Motion carries unanimously. We'll go through the consideration of the subdivision committee recommendations. First up is subdivision committee number 2020-00030, final plat for Abilene Place Addition. Is there anybody on the commission that would like to hear this item? Nobody? Anybody at Century 2 that would like to hear this item?
No one at Century 2.
Anybody virtually, online, cell phone, computer, would like to hear this item? Hearing none, we'll take that on consent.
Move to approve items 2-1.
Been moved by Mr. Bill Johnson, second by Cindy Miles to approve Abilene Place Edition. Any comments? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion say aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Motion carries unanimously. Moving on, got vacation number 00033, located approximately next to 3535 West Ponderosa Street. Is there anybody in on the commission that would like to hear this item? Seeing none, anybody at Century 2 that would like to hear this item?
No one at Century 2.
Anybody virtually that would like to hear this item? Hearing none, we'll take that one on consent. Next, vacation number 00034, the north side of Harry Street, west of South Todd Street. Anybody on the commission that would like to hear that item? Seeing none, anybody at Century 2 that would like to hear this item?
No one at Century 2.
Anybody virtually that would like to hear this item? Seeing none, we'll take that on consent.
Move to approve agenda items 3.1 and 3.2.
Second.
It was moved by Mr. Warren, seconded by Mr. Hartman to approve items 3.1 and 3.2. Any comments, questions? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion say aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Motion carries unanimously. Moving on to the public hearing.
Mr. Chairman, I'll need to recuse myself from agenda item number 4.1.
Okay. Please note that Ms. Miles is recusing herself. Would anybody like to hear item 4.1, 00032, city rezone from B to general office, located approximately at 357 North Hillside. Anybody on the commission that would like to hear that? Anybody at Century 2 that would like to hear this item?
No one at Century 2.
Anyone virtually that would like to hear this item? Hearing none. I do have a question for staff on this item. It's a real quick one. On page 2, the last paragraph under background, which is identifying what the properties are in relationship to that. Well, then you go to the adjacent zoning and land use. And those descriptions do not match with what is in the paragraph.
You're right.
However, the paragraph is accurate.
Yes, the paragraph is accurate. I'm
Okay.
sorry, that was a cut and paste error on my part.
No, that's fine, that's fine. Just wanted it to be noted before we approved it.
Yes, and I
Okay.
will correct that before it goes on to city council.
Awesome, thank you. So we'll move on to item 4.2, zoning case 00033, county zone change from rural residential to mobile home, located at 839 West 81st Street South. Is there anyone on the commission that would like to hear this item? Seeing none. Is there anybody at Century 2 that would like to hear this item?
There is no one at Century 2.
Is there anybody virtually that would like to hear this item? Seeing none, we'll take that on consent. Moving on to item 4.3, zone case, zone change from multifamily, MF29 multifamily to limited commercial located at 1230 West McCormick. Is there anybody on the commission that would like to hear this item? Seeing none, is there anybody at Century 2 that would like to hear this item?
There's no one at Century 2.
Thank you. Is there anybody virtually that would like to hear this item? Hearing none, we'll take that one on consent. Item 4.4, zone case 00035, city rezone from LC to GC, located at 9045 East Kellogg Drive. Is there anybody on the commission that would like to hear this item?
Mr. Chairman, I did have a staff question on that item.
Okay. Do we need to go through it or just a question?
Just a quick question.
Okay, great. Is there anybody at Century 2 that would like to hear this item?
No one at Century 2.
Thank you. Is there anybody virtually that would like to hear this item? Seeing none, if we could have the question. I guess,
Question
Dave,
is,
it's for you, isn't it?
should there be any consideration for restricting the uses? We've done that before, put an overlay if we wanted to restrict uses, but should that be considered for this item?
We did not feel it was necessary. The property immediately to the east is GC. There's other GC in the area, and given where that sits right along Kellogg, just didn't see a reason to do that. That was the only reason we didn't recommend that.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, next item is 4.4, which is a conditional use for a daycare, item 00029, located at 853 North Socorro Street. Is there anybody on the commission that would like to hear this item? Seeing none, is there anyone at Century 2 that would like to hear this item?
There is no one from Century 2.
Thank you. Is there anyone virtually that would like to hear this item?
Well, we would like to.
Okay, how do I mute this? I can hear?
Yeah, would you like to hear this item for a daycare center at 853 North Socorro? Please? Okay. We will hear this item. Okay.
Move to approve agenda items 4.1, 4.2, 4.3, and 4.4.
Second.
Been moved by Mr. Warren to approve items 4.1 through 4.4, second by Mr. Joe Johnson. Are there any other comments, questions on the motion?
I'm not clear whether, because I recused myself on, 4-1, whether I need to abstain or.
Good call. Could you,
I'll make 4.1 on its own.
okay,
Move to approve. Second. I'll second that.
okay. The motion is to approve item 4.1. Mr. Warren made the motion, Mr. Hartman on the second. Any questions? Seeing none. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. And all those abstaining?
Aye.
Okay. Now we'll take items 4.2, 4.3, 4.4. I make that motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Been moved by the chair, second by,
Joe Johnson, well, he did it earlier.
oh, okay, Joe Johnson. So it was moved by the chair, second by Joe Johnson to approve items 4.2, 3, and 4. Any questions on that? Seeing none, all those?
Yes, I have, as a resident near that area, what does that mean?
You're the one that wants to hear
4-5.
about item 4.5 for the daycare center at, on North Socorro?
Socorro.
We're going to hear that item in just a few moments, ma'am.
Thank you.
We're approving the ones above that, So we have a motion, it's been seconded. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Motion carries unanimously. At this point, I'm going to recess the Planning Commission meeting so that we may take up items on the BZA. And Ms. Russell, we will be coming back to hear this item, your item, in a few minutes, okay? Don't give up on us.
Okay.
Call to order the BZA meeting for today. First item on the agenda is the approval of our minutes from September 10th, 2020. Again, I believe only Mr. Hicks,
I was absent that day.
you were absent
On
also?
September 10th, yes.
Okay,
You sit here.
so Hicks, oh no, Blick and Hartman, I'm sorry, Blick and Hartman were absent that day. Everybody else was here.
Blick, I think, was the other one.
Yep, Blick and Hartman. So, are there any questions or comments on the minutes from the BZA meeting? Yes, Mr. Foster?
Just a few typos. On page 1, under background, it says changes is what is being requested. I believe that changes to what is being requested. And then the next paragraph down refers to the sign code of allows the size. I think of should be stricken there. Then on the next page, under uniqueness, third line down, the word allow needs an S on it. And then just one more under Mr. Kaplan on the next to last page, his comments, fourth line down, the property in question.
Okay. So do I have a motion for approval of the minutes?
So moved.
Second.
Been moved by Mr. Bill Johnson, second by Ms. Miles, to approve the minutes with the changes noted by Mr. Foster. Any questions or comments on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion say aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Motion carries. First item, or next item on our agenda is consideration of a zoning appeal 00039, located at approximately right at 700 North St. Francis. Is there anybody on the commission that would like to hear this item? Is there anyone at Century 2 that would like to hear this item?
There's no one from Century 2.
Is there anyone virtually that would like to hear the zoning case for 700 North St. Francis? Hearing none. Been moved by Mr. Warren, second by Mr. Joe Johnson to approve or to grant the zoning appeal. Any questions on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries unanimously. We will now adjourn the BZA meeting and return to our Planning Commission meeting to hear item 4.5, conditional use of a daycare at 853 North Secor.
I guess I'll go
I
ahead. and-
need to know as a neighbor, what does that mean
Uh,
for
well,
people on Betty Meyer?
We will, we'll get to you with your questions in just a minute. We're going to hear the case, and then I'll open it up specifically for public comment. So if we could hear the case.
Okay, this is a request submitted by the Catholic Diocese Mary Carter as the agent. They are asking to establish a daycare facility at St. Francis of Assisi, as outlined in the staff report. They have an existing preschool, but they're wanting to modify the extent of that operation. Under the state laws, it's going to have to be licensed child care center. That's not a permitted use by right, and therefore it takes a conditional use permit for that activity to occur. The staff report provides the requirements of the Unified Zoning Code with respect to what a center would have to comply with. There are 4 specific standards. The indications we hear from the applicant is they're fine with all that. You can see in the aerial on the zoning map the location of the property in question. We're north of West Central Street, not quite to Tyler. It's outlined in blue there. Next one, Jim. I think that's the aerial photo, which you see the existing facility. Primarily, as I understand, they are primarily operating the new child care center in the kind of building there at the northwest corner, as outlined, shown on the maps. That's where most of the operation will occur. They own a much larger tract of ground. It's a little over 11 acres all around that, so there's plenty of room. There's no other physical changes to the facilities, at least as we understand. This is just a process that has to be obtained in order to get the code enforcement officers to be able to sign off on the licenses. We've outlined the surrounding information. We'll go ahead and go through rapidly the pictures. You can see the location in relation to what it says for the comprehensive plan. It's identified as a commercial use, although it's a church mostly, but and next one, Jim. And yeah, this is what was provided. You can see they highlighted the building that's going to be used. Next. This is simply just looking south at the property. Well, it's south of site looking north, and so you're looking towards the overall facility. Now you're up on what is that east-west street on there?
Beckmeyer.
Okay, Beckmeyer. Kind of southeast towards the site. You can see it's fenced. That's southwest into the overall property. It's secured, and so on and so forth. That's looking from Socorro back into the property, and some of the facilities. That's what's north of the site, with the houses across the street to the north. So, and east of the site. That's looking west along Beckmeyer. So we are recommending approval, citing the conditions required by the Unified Zoning Code, and the standard language that's attached to that regarding continued compliance. So be happy to answer any questions anybody has.
Any questions?
Okay, if I understand
Excuse me,
correctly,
Ms. Russell,
support,
Ms. Russell, just a minute. We have a formality here. You will get to ask your questions, and I will call on you when we're ready for you, okay? Thank you very much.
thank you.
Yes. If we could now have the agent or applicant for this item. It looks like Ms. Carter is on.
Yep, she's online.
If she's online. And you have, if you could state your name and address, and you have 10 minutes, Ms. Carter.
Excellent. Thank you so much. My name is Mary Carter, and I live at 414 South Prescott Court, Wichita, Kansas, 67209. I'm actually the principal at St. Francis of Assisi Catholic School. And what our intention is to just change Stewardship Hall, which is the building that's been outlined. We're going to change that from the preschool classrooms that are there to have it licensed as a daycare. So really nothing will change as far as the students that will be served, the flow of traffic that will go in and out. It'll still operate within the school year, just like it has in the past. But what it gives us the ability to do is have our students stay in school, even if our school goes remote. And so with the coronavirus and all of the changes that brought to an academic year, it really was something that we felt in order to best serve our preschoolers, we needed them here with their teachers. And so really it's just a technicality of the overall governing board. Instead of being governed through KDHE, we'll actually be governed through the health department. And so it'll be giving us a little bit more flexibility just to be able to serve our students the way we think is the very best way. But as far as traffic flow, as far as what you normally see as a day-to-day routine, it won't change actually at all.
Okay, thank you. Are there any questions from the commission for Ms. Carter?
Does she agree with,
Yes, Mr. McKay?
does she agree with the staff comments?
Ms. Carter, have you had an opportunity to look through the report and see what the staff comments are? And if so, are you in agreement with those?
I did not look through the report to see. We were part of the last meeting and there wasn't any concerns that were brought up there. If there's anything that I can address, I'd be happy to do so.
No, we're good. Thank you very much. Okay, any other questions for Ms. Carter? Seeing none. Are there any members in the virtual world that would like to hear this, that have questions on this item? Ms. Russell, I think this would be your turn. Anybody at Century 2?
Okay. All right, can everybody hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, if I understand correctly, Socorro is already zoned commercial, so it will not change the zoning.
Actually, well, I'll let staff answer that.
No, ma'am, actually, the property is zoned single family, which allows the church and the school by right. The zoning that they're asking for will be a conditional use, which is an additional authority to establish the daycare center. The underlying zoning is not commercial. This is not going to be zone commercial either. It remains single-family zoning.
Socorro is single-family zoning?
Yes.
Okay, I was just wondering what ramifications there would be for Beckmeyer. But if that's single-family zoning, that's different from commercial. But I see somebody's going to be asking for commercial zoning somewhere in the future, whenever that future is. And since I live at 8224 Beckmeyer, my house faces the playground for St. Francis of Assisi Parochial School. And believe me, I believe in education of all kinds. But I was wondering about my property value.
And well, I can't talk to property values, but the action today, if approved, is just simply modifying the activity that goes on at the church and the school as classified under state law and the city licensing, but nothing else changes. And as you heard Ms. Carter say, they intend no change in operation at all. So one would presume that it will have no change in impact on surrounding land at all.
Thank you for answering my questions.
Thank you. Okay, well, any other questions from the virtual world? Anybody at Century 2 that would like to have ask a question?
There's no comment from Century 2.
Okay, thank you. We can bring it back to Ms. Carter if you want to have any rebuttal. I think staff's probably answered the questions that were brought up. But Ms. Carter, you have a couple of minutes if you have anything else that you would like to say.
Thank you. No, honestly, I just appreciate the support of our neighbors. We know that you get to see the activity of our school every single day. And we're really confident that we are not going to be changing what you would see on a normal day-to-day basis. It's not our intention to change anything drastically that would really be even noticed maybe on a public level. So we appreciate your support in that, and thank you for giving us the opportunity to visit more about this.
Thank you. We'll bring back the discussion
As much
to
as we
the
can.
commission.
I move to approve.
Second.
Been moved by Ms. Miles to approve this request, and it was seconded by Mr. Bill Johnson. Any comments or questions on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion say aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Motion carries unanimously. Do we have any other items that staff may want to bring up? Seeing none,